Could you tell me what you think of the events in Picauville and the Second World War?
Yeah, obviously we all stand on the shoulders who have come before us. Picauville remembers every year the sacrifices that were made for us to be standing in freedom right now.
And of the veterans?
The veterans, obviously, the sacrifices, not only for the members themselves, their efforts, but for their families as well. We all owe a debt of gratitude.
Thank you very much, General.
Thank you.
I was with the 95th Infantry Division. We fought outside of Metz. We retook Metz from the Germans. And the Germans named our division the Iron Men of Metz. And then from there we went to the secret line and held the Third Army front. And they had the Battle of the Bulge. And from there we went up to the War Pocket. We finished there. And then we went to Bremerhaven. Where we went home from there. And we were supposed to be in the third wave of the invasion of Japan. The war ended.
What did you think about the German army?
I was an ammunition handler for them and then a tank gunner.
Was there any times you were feared?
Say again?
Any times you were scared?
Oh yeah, many a times.
Are there any funny stories or good memories you remember?
Let me think a little bit.
Okay.
We got lost a couple of times. Ran into unarmed German roadblocks and stuff like that. And it wasn't funny at the time. When you look back at it, you get a little bit of a laugh. Another time we went into this German town and we saw all these white flags hanging out, and we got there before the infantry.
Did you take any POWs?
No, because we were supporting the wine company.
Did you land on the beaches of Normandy?
No, we landed 90 plus.
90 plus? Oh, very good.
We went to Carrington and got on the 40 and 8. That's when we went up to Metz.
Thank you very much, Cheryl.
Then I put them in a cage. Open it up during the day. Then they come back at night. I enjoyed all of that. I enjoy human beings, but I think that the dogs and the cats and the fox, they're smarter than we are.
Oh yes, you're right. I had a dog, a spaniel, and she knew my mind absolutely.
Texas, but Scotland originally.
Texas.
And no, Scotland originally.
My son is going to school in Scotland.
What
he goes
part?
to school in Gordonston in Inverness.
I live in Glasgow.
Oh yeah, you live in Glasgow.
Et vous parlez très bien français?
Oui, oui, oui. Pas très bien, pas très bien.
Si.
Moitié.
No.
Could you
Mieux allemand. Je parle allemand.
could you tell me a little about your
The recording? Okay.
Could you tell me a little about General Patton?
Well, there's a lot to tell about General Patton, but I think the significant part around here is that he was not a part of D-Day. Very important. My grandfather was not a part of D-Day. He came after D-Day. He landed around the 6th of August at Omaha Beach, and then he was transported to an apple orchard in Nehou, N-E-H-O-U, France, because it was chosen because there was a beautiful bunch of trees that could cover him, so he could hide while dressed sometimes as a sergeant. He was there for a month planning his attack, if it should happen. But he was actually there because he had made a faux pas, famous French word, because he had failed to thank the Russians for their participation in the war, because he had a propensity to forget the Russians. Or he didn't forget the Russians and the journalists made him forget the Russians. Anyway, in those days they didn't have these recording devices. So there he was, and there was a ghost army, a fake Patton army around Calais that was being formed with dirigible tanks and fake sound systems with some of our greatest designers in the world. Bill Blass, a fashion designer, was part of that. Can you believe it? And some of our theater technicians and sound technicians, and they created a fake war so that everybody thought Patton was somewhere else, but he was actually quietly here. So he was most likely here and heard about the terrible death in Picauville and the plane crashes and anyway, so my grandfather stayed in this apple orchard for a month and then finally got the go word when Montgomery, after some time, finally finished his work in Caen, and then the Third Army could assemble itself. There were 365 command staff here in Normandy, and they assembled themselves. Parts of the other armies formed the Third Army. They went to Avranches, and on the 2nd and the 3rd of August, there was the breakout of Avranches. I think technically it's the 2nd.
Yes.
And then they headed on, obviously did their liberation sweep. But little known fact is there's a place close to my heart called Mortagne. Anybody been to Mortagne? Yes. Mortagne is where the Lost Battalion is well known for having held a hill against the Germans, which had it not been held successfully, the Germans would have prohibited Patton and his army from coming through, and the word General Patton would never be known today.
Could you tell me a little about what your grandfather thought General Rommel?
He adored
Just
the
like
character of
Montgomery.
Rommel. And in the famous line in the movie, Rommel, I read your book. And can you believe that God is so good that General Rommel's son and my father were actually sharing the same birthday, which was Christmas Eve. Manfred and my father had Christmas Eve as a birthday, and we would have several parties there over the years. And Manfred and Manfred's wife and my mother are dear friends. Lilo, he died a little over a year ago, and my kids have met him, and he was a very funny man, very wry, great sense of humor. And he and my father just got along like two peas in a pod.
What did your grandfather think of General Eisenhower and Montgomery and General Bradley?
That's a tough question because, you know, he had...
We know the real answer, Miss Patton. You don't have to tell him. We'll tell him privately.
Actually, I want to tell you that I love Susan Eisenhower very much. And if she is a chip off the old block, he was a great man.
Yes.
And I mean, she is really carrying his legacy so beautifully. So I know you're here, Susan, somewhere in Normandy, or you're on the way. And I can't tell you how happy I am and how happy Normandy is to be able to receive you in honor of your own grandfather. And I was reminded today by the speech, I believe, of General Roberson, that Eisenhower truly prepared the troops for the greatness that they would have to accept, but also for the hard work ahead and the impossible task of throwing themselves against the barrage of Germans.
What did the Third Army think of your grandfather and your grandfather think of the Third Army?
Well, the Third Army was comprised of many parts. I mean, I have conflicting divisions that have said we are Patton's best. No, we're Patton's best. The African American division, or do I say division? I'm not so sure that's right. The African American contingent, he admired very, very much. He admired the 90th Infantry Division. He loved the 4th Armored, the 80th. I mean, he was just. My grandfather was an equal opportunity lender, and I think he basically brought it down to the individual soldier. So if he said you're Patton's best, he would have had to have based it on an individual soldier and how they worked in a group.
So is the movie with George C. Scott true to your grandfather?
It's absolutely true, and thanks to George C. Scott, because George C. Scott actually did the research to correct a few, I think, facts that were incorrect in the film. I'm trying to remember who was supposed to play the part. It'll come to my mind. He was the brother in on the waterfront. He was supposed to play the part, and George C. Scott played the part. Now Helen Patton, me, my brother, and Kirk Ellis are working on a new movie, and it is based on the Patton life as well, and most likely to focus on his younger years, which also include being shot in the First World War in France. And I've actually found the foxhole where he was dragged to after being shot. I was one of 2 survivors in the Battle of Chepi.
Thank you very much, Madame Patton. It was a great honor to meet you.
Well, thanks. I hope I was able to give you all the answers
You did.
needed.
Thank you very much.
Je suis toujours émue. Je suis toujours émue pour être ici dans le site de la catastrophe de Picauville et les Américains qui ont décédé ici. Aussi, nous sommes pas loin de la mer des rivières. Mon père l'a dit toujours quand nous sommes en mer des rivières, il a dit stop. Il faut rappeler que c'était une rivière de sang, le sang de notre héros américain. Mon grand-père n'était pas partagé à d'idées. Il était installé dans un champ en Néhou, le village de Néhou, où il était habillé comme un sergent et il a préparé l'Operation Cobra là-bas. Le 2 août, il est évacué et activé en avance pour commencer la 3e armée. Tous les soldats qui étaient avant avec les autres armées ont formé les bataillons en avance pour commencer vraiment la voie de la liberté. Et c'était très vite, beaucoup de force. Il y a une assistance avec les pères du bataillon de Mortagne qui a lutté une canoë et très importante bataille qui donne la possibilité pour la 3e armée pour faire le travail bien. Oui, et Patton après, il a les problèmes en Metz, il a perdu le gazole, il a besoin de l'essence, il a des problèmes avec les mauvais temps, il a fait les prières au baston pour prier le Dieu qui peut avoir le mieux temps. Mais enfin, il a gagné et malheureusement, il est très tôt tué à cause d'un accident en voiture avec un mystère. Mais l'esprit de Patton, il est vraiment ici, en Normandie, parce que je crois que c'était ici où il a vraiment pensé qu'est-ce que c'est ma mission. Je demandais si vous avez besoin d'une place pour demander la même chose, venir à Normandie et peut-être tu as trouvé ta mission.
Ah oui, merci beaucoup.
Merci.